I'm the VP of Products at Zendesk. I'm going to talk a lot more about our experiences in engaging with our customers and what we've learned through the whole customer lifecycle. Maybe we're innovative in this space, but that just means that we've made a lot more mistakes than other people. And maybe we've learned a couple things along the line. Sam at Zendesk.com, if you want to get in touch with me. So who's Zendesk? We provide customer support software in the cloud. We have 25,000 customers around the world, as tiny as 3 or 4 person startups, as large as Fortune 500 companies. Fundamentally, our customers use our products to answer support tickets, so to communicate with their customers. So not a new and innovative product or product use, but an innovative way of delivering. There's our great iPad app. We have a new one coming out next week. Plug, plug. We also provide end user software. So along with ticketing software, we provide customer portal. So this is Foursquare's customer portal, which is powered by Zendesk. So because of that, we touch a lot of people with our technology. So we have about 150,000 agents who use our product and over 100 million end users. If a bunch of customers are in the room, if you've sent Totango a support ticket, you sent that through Zendesk. So we're a bit of a scale company. So how do we get proactive? That's the thing I think a lot of people want to talk about. First of all, let me tell you how we started. We're a really high volume business. This is just a compete.com chart that says that we get 1.7 million unique visitors a month. So we're sort of a web scale business, different than a lot of B2B software companies. So that's how we were born. How we started was just a sort of a website and a free trial and a product. And because of that, from the very beginning of the company, our business has been about volume and trial. So today, we do tens of thousands of trials a month. There's a picture of our trial form. We do trials in 13 different languages, which is pretty cool. As a product guy, I like that. We do tens of thousands of our own support tickets a month, right? So people submit tickets to us all the time, whether they're in trial, whether they're existing customers, whether they, for whatever reason. And then, as I said, we also have our own sort of customer portal where we get hundreds of thousands of page views of our own support forums. So we've always been a really sort of high volume business that doesn't lead itself to being proactive. And we didn't start that way. So this is sort of the journey of Zendesk over the 5 years of our existence. Right now, we're about 25,000 customers. You see how we grew very nicely. We didn't hire a customer advocate. That's sort of we call our support people customer advocates until we had a couple thousand customers. We didn't hire sales reps until we had 5,000 customers. And we didn't really start to invest heavily in the world of customer success management until about a year ago. So we didn't start as a people business, right? We started as an automated business, and we've been sort of layering people on top of that, which is a very different perspective, I think. So looking at the product, there's a lot of knobs to adjust in our product, right? It is something you can set up in 10 seconds, but it's infinitely configurable, like a lot of products. And this is just a look at just our admin settings in the product, and there's 15 or 20 different sort of menus where you can go and do stuff, which is challenging. And this is an example of an automation. An automation is just one way of adjusting your business process. Incredibly powerful and incredibly scary for our customers, right? These are not IT folks. These are customer support reps who are trying to figure out how to deal with tickets and how to communicate with customers. So the good news is we have an infinitely configurable product. The bad news is that we have an infinitely configurable product. That's a challenge. And what we've learned, again, because we see our own usage data, is that vanilla is the favorite flavor of Zendesk, right? So this is an example of views. Views are the primary way that you organize support tickets inside of Zendesk. They're not really queues, but you set up a view for new tickets or high priority tickets or tickets that that come from Europe or whatever the case may be. And what we found is that about 70% of our customers never create a view, right? They don't do the most basic customization that enables them to do sort of ticket flow, right? That's kind of scary and kind of something we need to deal with. So what have we done, right? We've done a lot of the stuff that you hear about, right? We've put in, this is our trial user experience. We've put in a sort of a guided help to orient people to the UI. That's been really nice, right? We've actually embedded video into the product. So the first time you come to key parts of our product, whether you're in trial or not, you can look at a quick video. This is an example in our reporting dashboard where you can say, before you get lost in reporting, orient you about the stuff you want to look at.
Sam, your videos, how often are they used?
How often are videos used?
Yeah, like what do you
How often are they viewed, you mean?
Yeah.
We actually, a lot, I don't know the specific numbers. We use a product that I'm forgetting that gives us really good video analytics and drop-offs and things like that, if I can remember the thing. So we track that. We do a lot more with our video on our public website. You may have seen like our careers page and things along those lines. But we put this video up the first time that everybody looks at the reporting part in our product. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's what you think. This is a 3-minute video, which is about 1.5 minutes too long. But then again, I mean, you can actually see it's kind of a soul-crushing experience when you look at the drop-off rates through the time, right? When you're Martin Scorsese or trying to do that. But we've had a lot of success with video. I'm not answering your question because I don't know the number. But we've had a lot of success. We've had a lot of success with video, and the most success we've had is by constantly redoing things and optimizing and things like that. So we do all this great stuff. We have segmented trials. We have lots of guided navigation, cool videos, et cetera. And then we get stuff like this every single day, right? This is a real support ticket from a real trialer. Is there a way to contact a customer directly through our Zendesk, right? We are customer support software. The fundamental thing you do with our product is talk to your customers through Zendesk. And this person is asking, this wonderful woman, Marissa, is asking this question. And the second question is there a way to disable email notifications for agents? This is like vanilla functionality of what we do, and there's something not happening. So again, make no assumptions. These are assumptions we made. So we have no choice. We have to get proactive, right? For all the reasons you've heard this morning, we want to grow our business. We've got the early adopters. Now we need the early majority. They need more hand-holding, et cetera, et cetera. So the question becomes, well, how the hell do we do it? This great chart that Ken showed a little bit earlier, which I totally think of it, the right balance of product and people at the right time, et cetera, looks good on a flow chart, really fucking hard to do. Sorry for the language, right? It's really, really hard to do. And the only way, it's just like constant trial and error to do that, right? So the first lesson that we've learned, I think a lot of you guys probably agree with this, is that doing it in the product experience is our most effective tool, right? So it's almost like talking to a human being is a failure in these days, right? So we look for the lessons of the consumer web. How do we do things that, whether it's Facebook or any of the web apps or something, or even what e-commerce folks do in terms of think about your trial experience as a shopping cart, right? Track shopping cart abandons, things along those lines. So some of the things that we've done, we're constantly tweaking our trial experience. I started at Zendesk as that was my first task, and we've done a lot of work there, and that's a never-ending challenge, right? Again, we get tens of thousands of trialers in 13 languages, everybody from mom and pop store all the way up to Fortune 500 company. Constant battle to tweak this stuff. So this is an example of within a checklist, within a couple steps, add chat as just a feature of our product. That's one thing we've done. Another thing we've done, this is sort of our onboarding screens for our new iPad app, which is coming out next week, where you're seeing basic feature education. We put all this effort into cool swipes and gestures and all the stuff that iOS is good for. But we want to make sure that people actually know how to use that stuff because we put so much time into actually building it. The other thing we're doing is contextual help. I know this sounds like a no-brainer, but up until really this month, there was really no contextual help in the product. So this is an example of our views, again, which is the primary way that you organize your tickets. in order to handle them. And we're putting a little video in there, right? So that you can actually learn what to do and link our product to our support forum so that people can actually do more. Another thing we do, and we've started to do this last year, super, super successful, is tell our customers about feature activation and account usage. Somebody mentioned Salesforce earlier. They send an email, sort of your monthly stats. It's one of the most effective ways that Salesforce communicates to their customers. We did the same thing starting last year, which is this account usage email, where we tell you your 3 key stats: customer satisfaction rating, how many tickets you're doing, what's your response time. And it was, when we did that, it was the most successful email marketing campaign we'd ever done in the history of the company, right? People are just dying to learn their stats, right? We're building that in the product now so that we can actually see how many features have you activated and what level are you using them in, right? So again, we need to teach our customers, the way that Fitbit teaches you how to walk stairs and how to, how much you're doing, we do the same thing in our product. And then the final thing we did, which has been super successful, is benchmarks. So educating our customer how they're doing at delivering customer service. So we have a benchmark service that I think something like 14,000 of our customers have opted into, where they can exchange their data with their industry. So I can understand if I'm a 300-person company or I'm in the retail industry, I can figure out whether my customer satisfaction is higher or lower than my averages. So those are sort of the things that we've done in the product. Oh, and the final thing is the idea of convention over configuration. You know what? It's a pain in the ass to configure Zendesk, so let's configure it for our customers, right? We heard from our customers, we want to be able to survey at the end of a support ticket. So we very easily could have attached Survey Gizmo or SurveyMonkey survey to the end of that, but that would lead to the experience we've all had, which is thanks for the quick support. Here's a 37-question, 8-slider kind of survey. So what we did is we came out with a dead dumb simple customer satisfaction rating feature, which is yes or no with a comment, right? And that's been super successful, where we configured it for our customers, and you know what? It's good enough, right? And it's good enough, they don't have to worry about it, and they click a button and it's on. So that's sort of one of the things that we did. And then some other stuff, which I'm sure you guys do as well or have thought about it. Here's our welcome to Zendesk email when you sign up for a trial. We're constantly tweaking this. This is the most recent version. One thing we figured out, thanks to Totango, among other things, was that the best thing that we can do is get you back in the product, right? So we had this weird thing where we put the password, you had to choose a password in the reg form. And the old way, you had to actually go back and confirm your Zendesk. And actually, there was a drop in repeat visitors to our product because of that. So we made it better for our customer, and they didn't come back in the product. So our nurture emails now, if you look at that, everything links back into the product. So we'll get you with webinars, we'll get you with our latest events, we'll get you with our newsletters, but our primary goal is to get you back in the product. Now, we screw up all the time as well, right? So this is an older nurture email that we did about 6 months ago, and it was, again, based on great data, based on best practices. We wanted to be like Dropbox because they're awesome. And this is the email that we sent to, and we have a really strong brand personality. If you visit our website, you'll see that. And we said, let's guilt people into coming back and re-engaging in their trial. So we said, looks like you haven't returned to your trial. This email is to guilt you back. Also, you should really call your mother. Anybody want to guess what happened? Didn't call their mom. Day one this happened, we got a support ticket. My mom just died. I hate you. So that sucked. And by the way, sorry, my fault. That cost us some flowers. But the second thing was that actually this sucked. I mean, it was a bad email. It didn't work. We thought it was really cool. We thought it was the right thing to do, and it didn't work. So not everything we do has been working, that's for sure. So what about people? I'm the product guy, but also we're a small company, so it's a balance between product and people. There's a bunch that we did. Same thing, same challenges everybody faced. Who do we reach out to? Who does the outreach? Is it the support person? Is it the CSM? Is it the account manager? Is it the sales rep? When do we reach them out, and what do we say, right? So the same challenges that everybody faces, And these are really probably two of our strongest assets in the company. So this is a picture of our customer advocate team in San Francisco. You can sort of get the idea of the personality of these people. We are people helping people, right? So our customer support organization supports customer support people who deliver customer support. So there's a huge sort of connection between these people and our customers. And they're fun and goofy, and like a third of these guys actually do improv on the side. And they're sort of like, I would call them our secret weapon, but there's not much secret about it, right? And then there are these guys, right? Who are these guys? Come on. Sales team, not the engineers, the sales team, right? So they're taller, they look like frat guys, they look like, they're super successful, right? Improv is something that their geekier younger brothers and sisters do, but they don't think about that. But they're an incredible asset too, right? So here we are, we have 300 people in the company, and this is just our US sales team and our US support team. These are the assets that we can bring to solve the problems that we're talking about. So what does that look like? Here are some of the things that we've done, right? So first challenge, again, life cycle, trial engagement, something we're all trying to figure out. First of all, 25% of our overall support volume comes from trialers, right? So whether or not, whether we want to sort of, set up nurture campaigns and customer journey map these folks out, the fact of the matter is they're paying us for support all the time, right? So it's a naive understanding to think that sales sells and support supports. That's just not the way that our customers behave. So that's number one. The second thing is that you see here where it's really super simple to figure out how to instrument your trial, right? And in our world, tickets, if you're creating tickets and you're logging into the product, you're an active trialer. So giving our sales and our sales qualified folks, really simple stuff like here's a list of trials that have added more than 2 agents. Let's give them a call. Really simple stuff. It's the engagement signals for us are pretty apparent. Returning the trial, adding users, configuring email, those types of things. The next thing is onboarding, sort of this mysterious first 90 days where your entire life as a customer is dictated. Hard to do at Zendesk because we have a massive volume of customers and a lot of them don't spend a lot of money with us, so we can't assign a CSM to everybody, right? So we obviously do the smart thing, segment them based on what their revenue is and sales channel, et cetera, and give a dedicated customer success manager to the customers that we give a shit about, the big ones, let's face it. But the other guy should have it too. So how do we take what is a hand-holding experience at the high end and deliver something that is automated and give the exact same experience to somebody at the low end? Because they all kind of want the same thing. So again, we invest heavy in video and resources and outreach and things along those lines. The other thing we do is once customers are there, and I agree with everything that Michael and Ken said about sort of taking care of your customers before month 11 of a 12-month cycle, right? So we do that with data. So we're a pretty simple business. We sell butts and seats, and the more butts that you buy, the better we like you. And we know what you do with those butts. Sorry to be crude or something, right? So one thing that we can do is we can track overall capacity of your seats, right? You have 50 agents in Zendesk. How many of them are you using, right? Are you at capacity? How busy are your agents? Maybe do you want more? Maybe are you a potential churn risk because you're really low capacity? So that's an example where we can very easily put this in front of our support people and sales people and account management people. They can see that. And then again, the indications of health inside of Zendesk are how many tickets are you solving? We're a ticketing system. And how active are your agents, right? So simple analytics and simple data put in front of the right people can make a huge difference. Another thing we do is we try to be proactive with monitoring. We try to be proactive with notifications, et cetera, et cetera. Harder to do in the product, easier to do with people, right? I'm a product guy, it's frustrating. I want to be able to, send a message to the right person at the right time and tell them something, but that's not always easy to do. But what we do is that we open up tickets on behalf of our customers all of the time, right? So, hey, I noticed this, or I noticed that, or I heard about this, or I heard about that. And getting proactive has the added benefit of that we teach our customers how they can be proactive with their customers. So this is an example of a ticket that we opened up for, that one of our CSMs opened up for another customer about using the product with a simple screenshot. The other thing we do, and we need to do more of, is this concept of health checks, right? Like, we know this is an example of our benchmark data. So pick a customer, and we can go and figure out two things. Number one, how much are they using the product compared to their benchmark, and how successful are they, right? So are they delivering? This particular customer delivers 97% satisfaction, which is something we track. That's amazing. Their 3.5-hour response time on tickets is tremendous, and they're doing about 1,300 tickets a month, which is, so this is a customer where it's like, even reaching out to them and saying, you guys are kicking ass, congratulations, keep it up, right? But the magic is combining the business results with the actual product utilization, right? And having the health check be about that, as opposed to being about problems that they're having, or I noticed that you're having a hard time with this. That's some of the stuff that we're doing. So what are the results that we're hearing? This is just a taste of the things that we're doing. As I said, I've only shown a couple of the mistakes we've made, but there've been a lot of them. So what are some of the results that we've seen? First of all, anybody who's in the SaaS business, I hope, is familiar with David Skock's blog, which is the tiny link in 2-point font down there. And one of the metrics that he talks about is this concept of negative churn, right? We all know churn. Churn's a problem in every business, but the idea of negative churn is if your expansion revenue is higher than your churn, that's a really good thing. And he talks about the fact that if you can have negative 2.5% churn, you can actually grow your company really effectively. I think one of the things about Zendesk that is way above average is we have crazy negative churn, right? So $1 today grows a lot. Part of it's just because of the nature of our business that, the more successful you are, the more people you want using it, et cetera. Salesforce is similar in a lot of ways. And expansion is a huge part of our business, right? And there's no doubt about the fact that direct human engagement with our customers is a driver of that, right? So that's probably one of the things that we're most proud of is, yeah, we need to have the right acquisition, yeah, we need to have the right amount of growth, but sort of the customer long-term value is the most important thing, and throwing, human resources at that problem in the right way has huge benefit for us. The second thing is that people love us. So this is our Net Promoter Score at the anniversary. And if you know anything about Net Promoter Score, 59 is a really big number. That's like Disney, Apple sort of range. Now, before I talk about the fact how great Zendesk is, I have to say that the way our anniversary NPS works is that we send you an email and we say, congratulations, it's your Zenniversary. Here's a free t-shirt. Would you like to fill out an NPS survey? So slightly biased. The marketing folks are a little biased. We track NPS throughout the customer lifecycle, but even with that bias, we feel really good about the fact that at 12 months in, or 24 months in, our customers really, really love us, and that's a huge shift from folks in our industry, right? Think about the ticketing systems or the case management systems or the bug tracking systems that you've used, right? Not a high level of customer sat in that industry, right? So we feel good about that. What we feel even better about that are the top 2 reasons that people love us, right? Number 1, we're easy to use, right? And again, number 2, Zendesk support Zendesk's people, right? We didn't start as a people business. We started as an online Web 2.0 company, and people recognize that engaging with our people is really, really important. 2 quick lessons, because I know we're hungry. First lesson is experimentation, right? Experimentation is key. As I said, there's been 5 things where I've complained and cajoled and said, we got to do this, it's a no-brainer, let's do that, and then we learned that it was exactly wrong, right? No good plan ever survives first touch with customers, right? So experimentation, you don't need to A/B test things. You don't need Optimizely in your world to sort of scientifically test stuff, but just run as many experiments as you can and sort of develop the culture of experimentation. And the second thing is get it in your DNA, right? And I don't know how you do this. I wasn't there at the birth of Zendesk, but we have it deep in our DNA of the company that we are advocates, feel that engaging with customers and helping customers is much more important than doing tickets, right? They do. Our salespeople, our account management people, our product managers, our marketing people, they feel that helping customers is more important than selling. And the third thing is that everybody needs guidance, right? Whether it's automated guidance using our smarts or using something like WalkMe or doing whatever based on Totango, or if it's just getting on the phone and talking to people, people need guidance. They need best practices. They need advice. They need somebody to talk to. So those are the things that we've done in our sort of DNA to make this stuff happen.